This morning, there's a new warning for parents and kids about energy drinks. Maybe you've seen Prime Energy on social media.
Why the drink is getting so much negative attention, schools are actually banning it.
Prime.
Yeah, this is like the most sugary drink that doesn't have sugar in it. Like,
What are they using for a sweetener?
I don't know. They taste like Kool-Aid with 3 times the sugar in it.
Really?
We want you to give it a go.
We want you to give it
See
a
what you think of
review.
Prime. Okay, so
Jesus.
Loosely.
it's like swallowing perfume. What is that? I'll send it to Nigella to cook her pork ribs in.
Would you serve that at the Savoy? What would your sommelier make of that?
I'd get fired.
Logan Paul, KSI, Coca-Cola, even Messi. Names that might seem totally unrelated at first, yet they all intersected in one of the most bizarre brand downfalls of the decade, Prime Hydration. Once celebrated as a billion-dollar sensation ready to shake up the beverage giants, Prime, launched by Logan Paul and KSI, stormed into the market like a wildfire. It flew off shelves, was endorsed by Holland, became a Gen Z craze, and quickly shot up to a multi-billion-dollar valuation. At its height, people actually believed Prime could take on Coca-Cola. But in under 3 years, that fantasy crashed hard. Prime was hammered by accusations of harmful ingredients, hit with lawsuits across the US, and most telling, lost favor with global football icons. Messi distanced himself, and Ronaldo blatantly dismissed the drink during a live match. As the celebrity gloss wore off, reality hit. Sales collapsed by more than 90%. Customers lost faith, and now Prime sits forgotten on Walmart clearance racks, a sad reminder of overhyped branding. Honestly, once you understand the full story, you might feel Prime isn't even worth $10 million today. So what exactly triggered Prime's downfall? And is there any hope of them climbing out of the pit they've fallen into over the past year? Let's begin with the brutal truth, the numbers. Back in 2023, Prime wasn't just another sports drink, it was a cultural movement. From gyms and UFC cages to school backpacks and packed arenas, it was absolutely everywhere. Backed by influencers like Mr. Beast and fighters like Adesanya, the hype was so intense, people chased special edition bottles like gaming collectibles. During that time, Prime meant everything to fans. It represented Logan Paul and KSI's billion-dollar ambition, especially Logan, who had openly declared becoming a billionaire as his lifelong mission. For him, Prime was the fastest route to that reality. The blueprint was simple. Position Prime as a strong alternative to brands like Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor, dominate the sports drink space, and catch the attention of a corporate buyer. If the plan worked, Prime would become a leading beverage empire, and Logan and KSI, believed to own major shares, would walk away with hundreds of millions, maybe even billions. Just look at Logan's net worth. It had climbed above $150 million by 2025. To hit that next level, Logan, allegedly holding 20% of Prime, would need a sale worth $5 billion. He pulled out all the stops to promote Prime, flooding every platform. He even tied his wife's pregnancy into a campaign, launching a new drink called Lunchlay. But let's be honest, no amount of clever advertising or influencer collabs seems able to revive Prime now. Imagine a rocket soaring upward, that was Prime. But now, it's free-falling with no parachute. Even Michael Jackson's moonwalk isn't as backward as Prime's current nosedive. To truly understand how far Prime has fallen, just look across the Atlantic. In the UK, Prime's revenue plummeted 70%, from £122 million down to just £32.8 million. But the real gut punch? Net profit dropped from £3.7 million to a pathetic £31. Yes, £31, or around £429,000. Now, to be fair, yearly costs can vary, so profit margins aren't always clear-cut. But revenue, that's what should be keeping Prime up at night. Sales in the US alone dropped by over 50% in just the first half of 2024. On a global scale, Prime has lost a jaw-dropping 92% of its total revenue in under 2 years. That puts it among the fastest collapsing consumer brands in the food and beverage space. Prime's team tried to dismiss it all as a natural drop after a short-lived craze. But then came a lawsuit that made them reevaluate everything. From the outside, it sent a clear and troubling message to investors. Why should major companies bail out a failing brand when they can stick with stable, growing names? Why risk it all to save a falling rocket when you can just watch it burn? Compare that to Body Armor's rise. Coca-Cola bought in after 7 years of steady growth. They started with a 15% stake in 2018, saw 180% growth by 2019, doubled revenue by 2021, and then bought the rest of the company outright. Prime, nowhere near that path.
We've gone from 200 million, 450 million to 700 million, and this year will be 1.1 billion in revenue. And the Coca-Cola bottlers have done an amazing job getting this brand to the next level.
And the core reason for Prime's collapse is simple. It was never really about the drink. Prime was just a flashy label slapped onto Logan Paul's face. It wasn't built on innovation or quality. It was a classic example of turning online fame into a quick cash grab instead of crafting something that could stand the test of time.
Jesus. It's like swallowing perfume. What is that?
Think about it. Top chefs like Gordon Ramsay can judge a dish in seconds. One smell, one taste, and they know if it's legit or trash. Prime. It was like ripping the cover off Logan Paul's brand empire in a storm. It gained instant fame because Logan and KSI were owning every social platform. They turned a basic hydration drink into a viral icon overnight. But here's the catch. Fame doesn't last forever. And when the spotlight fades, your product needs actual value to survive. Prime didn't have it. The data proves it. Customer retention is down. Average spending has tanked. New customer sign-ups? Practically dead.
Why?
Because people tried it, didn't like it, and moved on. Once the hype wore off, customers returned to trusted options like Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor, brands that succeed without relying on clout. Even worse, Prime never had a real marketing plan. Seriously, when was the last time you saw a Prime ad on TV or a professional sports commercial that didn't feature Logan or KSI? No billboards. No televised campaigns. No consistent brand presence. Just influencer shoutouts. And the hard truth, influencer hype fades. When creators stop talking, so do the customers. When the hype dies, so do the sales. And when sales drop, retailers stop stocking. Like dominoes, everything collapses. And as stores began pulling Prime from their shelves, the lawsuits started rolling in.
And the problem here is that the product has so much caffeine in it, it's targeted at kids under 18.
As if crumbling sales weren't enough, Prime's now drowning in lawsuits that could cost tens of millions and shake an already fragile business foundation. First blow. Refresco. That's Prime's manufacturing partner, and they dropped a $67 million lawsuit. They claim Prime violated a long-term contract, agreeing to minimum orders over 3 years, but bailed when sales dipped, dodging penalty payments. A lawsuit this massive could destroy Prime's budget and scare off any potential investors. Then came more legal hits, this time over ingredients and labeling. One major case says Prime Energy misleads buyers about caffeine content. It claims the drink doesn't contain the 200 milligrams it says. It actually ranges between 215 to 225 milligrams. That may seem small, but in this industry, it's enough for false advertising claims, and that opens the floodgates for picky lawsuits. Another case accuses Prime of unclear nutritional labels, missing calorie details, electrolyte info, and actual benefits. Today's buyers are health-savvy. If your label hides the facts, trust disappears fast.
This tastes like medicine!
These guys have access to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of customers. Yet somehow, there's not a single review on their own site. So what's Logan Paul doing about it? He's suddenly a nutrition expert, flooding YouTube with videos pushing the idea that Prime is top tier. He's constantly hyping up their advanced production lines, and big budgets like that alone makes them elite. Basically, they're giving themselves awards for being great. To be fair, every Prime batch does go through testing and can't leave the facility without passing quality checks. That's one thing they've stuck to.
We check every batch. We are FDA regulated, also third-party certified with world-class groups like NSF. We have an amazing group of quality folks.
Still, despite all the buzz, profits haven't bounced back, and lawsuits keep mounting. Here comes another. Prime's raw ingredient supplier, Aganya, is suing for $13 million, saying Prime didn't pay for completed orders. Aganya claims Prime's having major cash problems. Prime fired back with a countersuit, saying Aganya's supplies were defective. No matter who's right, this whole thing exposes serious cracks in Prime's operations. Then there's the PFS case. A plaintiff says Prime's grape flavor has PFS, a chemical the EPA considers hazardous, especially with long-term exposure. Prime's trying to get the case thrown out, but it's still crawling through court. And it doesn't stop there. More lawsuits accuse Prime of marketing its high-caffeine drinks as kid-friendly. This one's disturbing. Because the hydration and energy drinks look nearly identical, many kids accidentally drank the caffeinated version. That's not just shady marketing, it's dangerous. Legally, it could be considered deceptive and harmful conduct, especially when children are involved.
Maybe young children might, because it's colourful, it's bright. I just think it's because famous people are like influencing it and everyone believes.
Then came a bizarre legal twist from the United States Olympic Committee. Prime dropped a Team USA edition featuring Kevin Durant without getting rights to use Olympic trademarks. The USOC warned them to stop. Prime ignored it. Result: they got sued and settled privately. If they'd won, Logan would have been all over social media. The silence, that speaks volumes. And despite this mess, instead of improving the product or fixing internal issues, Logan Paul and his team doubled down with smug, arrogant marketing campaigns. Logan and even Mr. Beast, who just entered the food market, took shots at other brands like Gatorade, Liquid IV, and Lunchables.
The hydration beverages that are on the market right now are either A, not good for you, B, tastes like Gatorade's been around for 15 years, has 120 calories. It's so high in sugar, it's garbage.
The problem isn't having competition, it's how they handle it. A strong company doesn't need to trash others to lift itself up. Even nutritionists are calling them out, refusing to back up Prime's exaggerated claims.
If a parent came into my doctor's office, I would not recommend that their child drink this for lunch.
Even basic technical comparisons have become a complete joke.
Liquid IV has 870 milligrams of electrolytes, and the Prime Stick has 871 milligrams of electrolytes.
When you don't even know what the difference is and why it would be useful to maybe have some sodium in there, it's actually kind of laughable, to be honest.
Truth is, Prime isn't a serious electrolyte drink for athletes. It's just flavored water with low calories, potassium, and sucralose. Sure, it's drinkable, but far from the game changer it claims to be. And when you bash other companies without solid evidence, you're not just hurting them, you're exposing yourself. That's exactly what Logan Paul and Prime are doing. In the end, this isn't just about lawsuits, a bad product, or missed contracts. It's a story of ego, poor planning, and a brand built entirely on hype. Prime rose too fast, pushed too far, and when the excitement faded, there was nothing left but marketing stunts, petty insults, and self-promoting live streams. Logan Paul's dream of $1 billion buyout? Probably dead. Nobody wants to invest in a company whose identity is tied to controversy and cosplay branding. What about you? Have you tried Prime? Do you believe Logan Paul's hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around to the end.